Welcome to Let's Play Gran Turismo 2, episode 113. Alright, so, it is now time for the finale of Gran Turismo 2, and that also means that ultimately we have just one event remaining. And officially, as you can see there, I now have 100 cars in my garage, and well, the reason for that is, well, because I did this. Also, furthermore, the cars I have overall, in terms of total value, are worth just over 40 million. But before we dive into the video, obviously, I'm going to tell you what I did. So, I went back to the GT World League. I decided that originally I would use my Toyota Altezza LM Edition to try and see if I could win it first time, and well, I didn't. I won a Castro Mugen NSX with this thing, and well, I sold that, which is why I had the extra money, and of course, I decided I was going to try again, and I ultimately decided the car I would use after that was this. My Pikes Peak version of the Suzuki Coltus for the GT World League, and eventually, in the end, after some trial and error, I did eventually manage to get this thing. The original Toyota GT1. God, I love this thing. However, unfortunately, we are not going to use this car because, well, we have just one event left, and also, furthermore, I'm not changing those rims. I really do like the way those rims look. But anyways, before I start distracting myself, let's just move on to the event synthesizer. And as for the car I'm going to use for the first race, well, I've already decided on which car I want to use, and that's this. The Chrysler Phaeton. Why? Because I want to. Also, because I have a feeling the first race is going to be an ordeal. So, what I am going to do is that, well, before I get started with this event, I'm going to get some tuning on this thing. So, since I have a feeling the first race is probably going to be an ordeal, obviously, I'm going to put on some sport tyres, along with a sports suspension and 2 stages of weight reduction, to maybe see how I will go from there, considering I anticipate the first race is going to be an ordeal. So I've done that, and now let's just head over to the event itself. So, over to the Gran Turismo League we go, and also it's all the way up here, past the World League, and it's here. The event synthesizer. Automatically create events to suit the performance of your car. Enter the event using various cars and demonstrate your driving techniques. It takes about 30 seconds to automatically create the event. So, to any of you out there who may be American viewers, obviously, you know this as the event generator. Of course, realistically, this is known as the event synthesizer in both the original version, obviously the Japanese version, and also in the European version it's known as the event synthesizer. But it's also known as the event generator if you are playing the NTSC American version. So we have 4 difficulties here: easy, normal, hard and expert, or in other words, beginner, intermediate, advanced and professional. And obviously I'm going to go for the top one, because I of course am going to display how much of an ordeal this is going to be. as I'm just waiting for the event to load, because I would imagine this first race is going to be an ordeal. I'm sure it will be. Considering the circumstances I have to put myself under, but at the very least, I am trying. And where are we going for our first event? And oh, this time we're going to Rome. Considering originally I went to Super Speedway on my first attempt, but again, I would imagine this is very much going to be like my first attempt of recording this. It's basically going to be an ordeal. In other words, I'm going to be struggling a lot. But we'll just wait and see. Considering I would imagine I'm... Oh, okay. Maybe it won't be as much of an ordeal as I thought it might be. Well, perhaps it's just because I had the racing chip on, which is probably what let me down originally, but... Well, we do still have a Mines skyline in this event, and at the front we have 2 TVRs. Considering I would imagine this first race is probably going to be an ordeal anyway. Obviously, I'm not anticipating I'll win this on my first attempt, but if I can at least get second or third, then obviously, you know, I'll be happy with that. Also, furthermore, we have a Shelby Cobra in this field as well, which is actually pretty cool, along with the Lotus Elise. And charging up the inside, somehow I was able to make that work. I don't know how, but I just was. And here comes the skyline, which I'm fairly certain is going to blindside me because of how strong the handling is on that thing. And oh, god damn it. Oh, okay. I got a nudge. I don't know how, but I did get a push from the Tuscan. All I need to do now is just try and defend this position. If I can hold on, of course. And I hit the wall. Can I hold on? Oh, okay. I was not anticipating that was going to happen. I would have honestly thought for sure it was going to take me at least possibly 2, maybe even 3 attempts to go for the win, but somehow I actually did it on my first. Considering obviously this is my second attempt of recording this, but anyways. There we are. I won by just under 1.5 tenths ahead of the Griffith. Then it was the Mines Skyline in third, followed by the Tuscan in fourth. Also, by the way, the Griffith was second. Then it was the Cobra in fifth, and at the back, by just over 0.6 of a second, was the Elise. So that was the first race, and that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. But there we go. And I'm not going to save this one, because I want to be even more repulsive with the cars I choose. At least for the third race I want to be repulsive. So next up is the normal difficulty. And of course, and well, just because I want to check to be sure, yep, it does have game completion, so obviously that does relieve me in some cases, but now we are going to move on to our second event, and the car I'm going to use for that as well. If I can just find it. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Ah, here it is. The TRD 2000 GT. Actually, no. I'm gonna use this. The Tom's TO20. Just because I actually like that roof scoop. It's so weirdly placed, and oddly enough, it makes me feel like I want to use this thing, so that's precisely what I'm gonna do. And also, before I do this, obviously, I shall need to do some tuning. So that I know this car has enough grip to potentially win this. But we shall just have to wait and see. Considering I would imagine this event will probably end up being like my original attempt of trying to record the first race, it will end up being an ordeal basically. And hopefully that should be about all I need. But just in case, I'll get myself a turbo as well. Oh, okay. This thing is not a turbo. But is it an NA? Yes it is. Okay. So, I shall get this just in case, and well... As for the computer chip, well, I'm going to leave that where it is, because I don't think I'll need that. But anyways, let's move on to our second race. In the event synthesizer, which is the normal difficulty. Hopefully I should have enough tuning to win on my first attempt, but more often than not, I'm anticipating this is going to be an ordeal. But we'll just wait and see. Since obviously I got one of the dumb things out of the way, obviously I'm going to be a little bit less dumb, but obviously still dumb in a way. And, we're going to Rome again, except this time it is a full course. Alright, so take two of this, because even though I did have a good race car, unfortunately I was not quite able to pull it off. So I'm just trying this again, to maybe see how long it will be before I do succeed. And also, if you're asking what that pop was, it was basically just me opening my water bottle, because I may need some water in a few minutes. And, oh okay, this time we're going to Red Rock. So, attempt number 2 of the normal race in the event synthesizer. And hopefully, this time I shall emerge victorious. And we have some pretty interesting cars here. So we have a Toyota Supra in this field. I'm also fairly certain I can see a wagon in this field as well, but I couldn't tell which one. I think that's meant to be the Mugen Accord wagon as far as I know. And we also have a Skyline in this field. Oh, two Skylines actually. We have two Nissan Skylines in this field. Excuse me. And officially I am now up into the lead. So, had all the right tuning obviously, I just wasn't quite able to get the W in the end of my first attempt, which is more or less what I expected was going to happen. After I narrowly won on the short rowing course in my Phaeton, which somehow I was not expecting myself to do, but somehow I still did. As I am now up into the lead. But yes, we do have some tuned cars in this field. At least we have a tuned wagon, I should probably say, in this field. Meanwhile, I of course am at the front. In my very peculiar looking roof scoop. That is very much on the left side of the rear window frame. Or just above the engine. But yes. I think that's meant to be an air filter. As far as I know. On top. At least it looks like an air filter. To me anyway. But this time I am leading and I do have a relatively sleazy margin at the moment. So hopefully the second time will be the charm, as long as I don't bottle it. Which is something I have done before, but hopefully this time that shall not prove to be the case. Or at least I hope it won't prove to be the case. But I am holding on to a slim lead over the Supra, and also keeping down on the bottom on the bankings, which is the one thing these AI are not doing. And it looks like I am very much on course to victory, and heading across the line now, and second time is the charm for my Tom's TO20. As I won that event by 6 3/4 tenths. Then it was the Alfa Romeo Spider in third, followed by the two R34 Skylines, and then at the back it was the Nissan Stagea 260 RS. So it was not a Mugen Accord, it was actually a Nissan Stagea. And the second place car, oh, it was a Toyota Supra RZ. Yeah, I thought it might have been the RZ, I just wasn't sure on which one it was, but anyways. Won by less than 7 tenths, and the gap overall from first to sixth in the end, 1.8 seconds. There we are. Also, furthermore, I really like those 5-spoke rims. But there we are. The second race is done, and officially we shall now move on to our third race, to hopefully see if we can succeed in winning on our first attempt. And as for the car I'm going to use, well, I'm going to head down here and try to see if I can find it, because I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Ah, here it is. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use the Speed 12. Because, in spite of literally saying how huge the ass on this car is, somehow I do actually feel like something I know I can put my huge ass into. Because I do actually feel like I want to fucking do this. So let's now head down to the hard difficulty, where I'm probably anticipating this will be an ordeal. But we shall wait and see. Considering obviously my first attempt in the second race eventually turned out to be, well, a minor ordeal, but hopefully this one I can probably do the same as I did with the first race, and that's win on my first attempt. But that shall come with time to spare, as I am burping again. thing just to do my water and... Ooh! We are going to Red Rock again. Maybe this will go better than I thought it would. Actually... fuck it. Actually no, I'm gonna put on the mediums because I want to be challenging myself just a little bit more, but let's see how we go, considering obviously this is my first attempt at the third race. And oh my god, that tachometer is angry. That is one angry tachometer. And shifting up into second, as we have the tune boys in this field. And already, holy shit, this car is fast. This car is definitely fast. And it's also very angry. At least it sounds very angry. And oh my god, yep, this car is also very unsteady. This car is literally a beast. Jesus Christ, this thing sounds angry. Just literally everything about this car is just so fucking angry. And also, this car cannot turn. And everyone is pretty much single file. But still, honestly, I actually love the way this thing sounds, considering how much of a beast this car is to handle. Literally everything about this car is just literally making it sound like it's furious, because that is one furious engine. But meanwhile, I of course am leading this thing, and very much looking like this will probably be an easy W unless I bottle this. And surprisingly this time I do not bottle it. And coming across the line now, and I've just decimated this field basically because of how quick this car is. And oh my god, I won that event by 3.3 seconds. Jesus Christ. I did not think my TBR Speed 12 was going to decimate this field that much. Also furthermore, we had two Mines Skyline R34s in this event. So one by 3/10 over the TRD 3000 GT. Then it was the Nismo 400R in third, followed by the two Mines R34 Skylines, and then at the back it was the Motorsport release by 7.5 seconds. And also, just because of how I think Red Rock is probably one of the best locations I can save a thumbnail, that is precisely what I'm going to do. So yeah, that's basically what it is I'm doing. I'm just saving this replay. Just because of how ferocious this thing is. And yet somehow in a way I was able to tame it under similar circumstances to how I was able to tame the Phaeton. But there we are. And so we now just have one difficulty left, and ultimately I of course have already decided on which car I'm going to use. If I just go down here, and I think it probably is in here somewhere. Over which car I want to use. I think it's somewhere further down here. I can just find it. Ah, here it is. This is the car I'm going to use. The Nissan R390 GT1 road car. As for reasons why, well, because I want to. Also, because officially our final difficulty of the event synthesizer, or event generator, whichever way you want to call it, is the expert mode. And of course, I'm hoping to win most races in this, and the reason why I say most is, well, because you shall see in a moment. I'm just taking a sip of my water, and this is officially what I will show you. Because, as you shall see in a moment, it is officially a championship, and oh, we are going to Seattle Short again. Well, the sooner I get this over with, the sooner this game will be complete. So, I'm not going to stall any longer, I'm just going to go on with this. And I believe there are 5 races in this championship, like there was with all the others. Considering obviously this final difficulty is notably a championship, and ultimately I am hoping I do not have to race a test course, because one thing I have discovered that is a problem with this thing is speed. Also because of how short the gearing is on this thing. I have a feeling that if we do go to test course, speed is going to be a problem. I can sense that happening, I really can. But because I'm wanting to keep it relatable to stupidity, I'm going to try and see if I can win every race, and suddenly the Tuscan just dives up the inside. But doesn't really affect me too much, because my car has stronger acceleration than the Tuscan. Also, furthermore, the gearing in this thing is very short, and Jesus! Yep. Just as I expected, the Evo was going to fucking charge on me. He pretty much bull charged me is what he did. He did in the rear, but somehow I was not just going straight into the wall as soon as I felt contact. Heading through the final hairpin bend, got enough of a distance to these AI, and across the line I go, and it is a victory at Seattle Short by 1.25 seconds over the 22B. Then in third it was the TBR Tuscan, followed by the Evo 5 in fourth, then in fifth it was the Audi S4, and then at the back it was the Lotus Elise. Won by 1¼ seconds in that race, and the gap from first to sixth in the end was precisely just under 2 seconds. And that's officially the way the championship looks right now, but I of course shall reveal the final results when this championship is complete. But there we go. So that was our first race in the expert mode of the event Synthesizer, and 10 grand to go along with us. So we shall now move on to our second race. And well, as for the replay, well, I've already saved that, so that doesn't matter. And ooh, we are going to Deep Forest. This is definitely redemption. I can guarantee that. Over having to race at Seattle for the first race. Because of how many fucking times I've had to race at Seattle. But anyways. The second race of professional mode in the event Synthesizer. And we have some pretty unique cars in this championship. And the Tuscan at the moment is just blocking me, but somehow I have not lost control of this thing. Honestly, in spite of literally saying how staggering this thing looks from the front, this car also has a massive frown on the back. Honestly, it really does. If you look at it from my perspective. As I am currently half a second behind the Tuscan. But I am trying to see if I can get a charge done. To maybe see if I can win this, and up the inside I go. It looks like I may just be able to hold on to the lead from here. And I braked a little too early, but fortunately for me at least, I am holding on to the lead, and furthermore, I've not been taken out of the lead until now, of course, but still holding on, even though I'm on the outside, and does look like I'm going to hold on. And, oh, okay, correction, I did hold on to the lead. So even though all of these races are only 2 laps, officially, expert mode of the event Synthesizer is notably a championship, and ultimately overall this is actually a pretty convenient way to close off this game after I have completed this championship, as the only thing I'll really have left to upload after this is the credits, but I think it looks like I'm probably going to win every race in this championship, but we'll wait and see. There we go. 2 wins, and by 1 at this track by less than a second. And this time it was the Elise that took 3rd. Probably because of the mistakes that came from the AI. And the Impreza 22B finished down 5th. So I don't think that's going to be good for him in terms of the battle for 2nd place. But anyways. My GT1 road car still leads the way by 6 points over the TBR. The 22B has now dropped down to 3rd as a result of finishing 5th. The Lancet Evo 5 finishes 4th once again, has finished in 4th to giving him 6 points, and then it is the Elise in 5th with 5 points, and then at the back at the moment it's currently the Audi S4 with 3 points. So, 2 races down, 3 to go. As pretty much all of the championships in this game have 5 races. But yes. And, oh okay, we're going to Clubman stage route 5 for our 3rd race. That's actually not a bad choice. But, will it be the forward course or the reverse course? And well, as for me at the moment, this is actually proving to be very easy. But that could all change if I make a mistake. And there's no doubt in saying I probably will make a mistake in this thing. And already shifting up into 3rd, so I can limit the wheel spin, and ultimately I may be at the back, but because these AI are running wide, obviously, I'm more or less going to expect myself to get up to the front. And got forced into the wall a little bit there, and yeah, I'm getting bullied. But again, it doesn't matter because I am fairly certain this thing, unless I bottle it on the last lap, I'm fairly certain this thing will probably get me to victory, as it has done for the last 2 races. It's more or less been easy, is what I'm saying. But again, that could all change, considering the closest challenger I have at this point is the Tuscan. And holding on to what I would say is about an average lead, and oh bollocks. Well, it doesn't matter because I'm still in the lead. And literally had to slam the door there on the Tuscan if he thought I was gonna let him get by. He would be mistaken, as I, of course, am heading through the final corner, and it is going to be win number 3 for the R390. 3 races down and still 2 remain, as that was the closest race I've been in so far. So, won by half a second, then it was the Evo 5 in 3rd, followed by the Audi S4, the 22B was 5th, and then at the back it was the Elise. Just turning down the volume on my headset a little, because that's actually pretty loud. So these are the point standings now, as we now have the Evo 5 tied for 3rd with the 22B, and also furthermore we have a tie for 5th as well between the Lotus Elise and the Audi S4. Meanwhile, 2nd and 3rd places after 3 races are virtually unchanged. And so 2 races remain. And we are going to Clubman stage route 5 again. Well, as long as I know it's the reverse course, I've got no problems. But if it's exactly the same course again, then well, that is going to be a problem. But I'm hoping it isn't. And oh, for fuck's sake, it's exactly the same fucking course again. It's just literally the same fucking course. We are racing at this course again, for the 2nd time in a row. the way I suspect everything is going to go, more or less the same way the first race went, where I make some mistakes, but somehow, because of the acceleration this car has, and the ferocity that the transmission has, I'm fairly certain that I am absolutely going to win this race, regardless of the trouble I had, in the second race, but I do hold on to a slim lead at least, and I'm just hoping I can hold on to it. Just hoping to not bottle it in the closing stages. Yes, that is a wall, and I don't think that's going to be enough of a mistake to hand over the W. But again, I could easily get charged up the inside if I leave enough of a gap open, but don't look like that is happening. As I round out the final corner and across the start line I go, and once again, exactly the same as what I thought the first race was going to go down to. And crucially for the 22B, he has managed to finish in third, so that may have just secured him third in the championship overall. Whilst first and second at this point, I would say, is pretty much secure. But so these are the updated point standings now. After 4 races, I am officially declared the champion, mathematically, because I have a 10-point margin over the Tuscan. In third place, between the battle of the Lancia Evo 5 and the Impreza 22B, 22B currently leads the Evo 5 by 1 point for third, and at the back, meanwhile, we have the Audi S4 and the Lotus Elise. So, first and second pretty much settled at this point, and there is still a battle going on for third, but as long as we don't have to race a Clubman Stage Route 5 again, unless it's the reversed course, then I will be fine with this. But I'm also hoping I don't race at test course. And, oh, okay, we're going to High Speed Ring for our final race. So, here we are. It is now the final race of Gran Turismo 2. And ultimately, I would suspect speed may be a problem, but hopefully, as long as I can finish in third at the very least, then I will be satisfied. And with High Speed Ring reverse we are going to. And got some wheel spin there off the start, but acceleration is able to keep me in contention, as I am bouncing on the embankment just a little bit, but I'm already moving my way up to the front, and I'm only hoping I do not have to make a mistake. As of which I am already up into the first position with pretty much relative ease, and officially I don't think speed is going to be too much of a problem unless I hit my max speed. And that TBR is closing in, but Yep, okay. I think I did just hit my max speed. My maximum speed has just been hit. Right at the end of the straight. As we are now starting the second lap, and if the TBR can get a draft off me, then I'm suspecting he probably will be likely to win this one. Considering obviously the one thing I have a concern for in this thing is speed. But the lead itself is relatively slim, and if I can get a reasonable exit off this final corner, then I should be secure for victory. Hopefully. Well, TBR is coming back, but he's out of time. He has run out of time. And won by just over 2 tenths in the end. Here at High Speed Ring. And in the end, the Impreza 22B was 6th. So ultimately, that has solidified the Evo 5 is going to take 3rd place in this championship. So let's have a look at the final results. So, another 8 points to me, with another relatively easy W in the end. And these are the final point standings. So in the end, I won by 12 points over the TBR Tuscan, Speed 6. He was also able to beat the Mitsubishi Lancia Evolution 5 GSR by 11 points to 2nd place, as the Evo 5 was eventually able to clinch 3rd as a result of the 22B finishing last here at High Speed Ring by just 1 point. Then in 5th place we had the Lotus Elise 190 with 10 points, and then at the back was the Audi S4 with 9 points. So 40, 28, 17, 16, 10 and 9 are your final point standings for this championship. As once again for me, this championship, like all the others, another clean sweep. So, another 10 grand is won, and officially, we can now move on, because I've already saved a replay. And now we get a trophy. And we also get 50 grand. And unfortunately, no prize car from this. So obviously, no prize cars are won from the event Synthesizer, unfortunately, but as far as I know, that should officially be the event which gives us the 100% completion of this game. Almost jubilantly. Considering obviously I'm recording this on a Monday and not on a Sunday. So there we are. The event Synthesizer is now complete, and officially that is all 4 modes complete. And now, after just over 4 months and 3 weeks of playing this game, it is now time for the moment of truth. Have we officially achieved 100%? Yes! We have indeed achieved 100%. And also furthermore, in terms of my average win ratio, I did a hell of a lot better than I thought I was going to do. But there we are. It's done. Gran Turismo 2 is now done. And ultimately, overall, I had a very good win ratio in the end. Total of 85.8% in terms of my average win ratio. And ultimately, overall, just over 40 million in terms of how much I've purchased on these cars. But there we are. it is done. GT2 is now done. So, officially, that, my friends, was the final event of Gran Turismo 2. And officially, I of course am now just going to do this. So there we are. It is done. Like I said, GT2 is now done. And also, just to remind everyone that overall, in spite of literally saying how much of a terribly rushed job this game was during development, when they put this game into production when they did, it still tends to astonish me by still being able to discover how amazing, even more than 2 decades onwards, this game still is. And I would have never predicted, of course, that 5 years ago I was actually going to see myself playing this game, and yet somehow I have now completed it. From when my original channel was a failure, obviously, I decided to try again, and well, here I am now on Monday the 22nd of February 2021, and somehow I have officially completed only my 2nd game on YouTube. So there we are. And it is definitely easy to see why lots of people consider this to be the best game in the series. And well, the truth is, I still think, in terms of the Gran Turismo series overall, 4 is the best, but I will definitely rank this game as being a close second, because I've actually had fun playing this game, and hopefully if it's possible I will be playing many more games in the future that follow onwards from this one. And so, there we are. So officially, in terms of what game I'm going to be playing next, well, I'm not going to be playing Gran Turismo 3 just yet, but I will play that with time to spare, and also after I have completed a couple of different games, but as soon as I have completed maybe 2 or 3 games, that is when I will officially decide on knowing when to play Gran Turismo 3, but I'm not going to reveal which games I shall play next until I have uploaded the intro. But yeah, there we go. Gran Turismo 2 is now complete, and officially all I can really say now is thanks to everyone for watching. It really is deeply appreciated to everyone who has already given more than 1,000 views on my channel, and also to everyone who manages to watch at least one of my videos. That too is really appreciated. And also, if you like my content, then you obviously know where the subscribe button is, but until then, I shall see you next time, because yeah, that's about all I've got. But anyways, so thanks to everyone for watching, and you probably know where the subscribe button is if you like my content, and you probably don't, but you know. And so, officially, that shall do it for this game, and I shall see you guys in the next gaming LP. But until then, to all of you guys and gals who may be watching this in 2021, stay safe out there, and I shall see you later. So until then, I'm Jordan Mustang 87 saying peace out.